Thanks for tuning in to our fourth episode of Friday Facts. We really appreciate you stopping in. This week we decided that we would bring in the expert here, our partner and lender with Fairways Mortgage, affectionately known as our Queen of Mortgages, Markita Woods. And also, I got to give a shout out to Ringo. This is our little mascot. A lot of you guys who are friends with me on Facebook know about Ringo. But anyway, last week we talked about the benefits of purchasing a home versus renting. So again, we wanted to bring in our expert so that she could expound a little further and give you some more content and background as to why it's better and the process.
So thanks for having me, Jen. And like you said, when you said special guest, I definitely wasn't thinking of me. I was thinking of Ringo here, such a little cute guy there. It's kind of funny that you ask about that and have the dog today. I posted a picture about when the landlord says no pets, and the person actually has on put clothes on the dog. So see, that's what they do.
That's what we do, dog lovers.
Yes, it's all good. So dog lovers, it's going to be hard to rent. You need to go ahead and buy.
You got a very good point.
So one of the major benefits of home ownership is that you can have your actual pets, right? Not just from a financial standpoint, but just the fact that you can have pets and it's your property. But when you start looking at the numbers over time, as far as renting, especially in this area, we live in a very high cost area. The amount of the rent can actually be a mortgage payment. When you start thinking about that, you could have paid out $18,000 in a year, which is basically a $1,500 a month rent. That's $18,000 that basically we just threw out the window.
Or paid somebody else's mortgage.
Or paid somebody else's mortgage. You're buying a house, you're just buying it for someone else.
Yeah.
So also some of the other numbers that we've looked at just from the financial standpoint is that the net worth, long-term goal, you think of net worth, legacy you want to leave for your family, that the homeowners net worth is 5 times that of a renter. And a big part of that is the home ownership piece. You actually have what's called forced savings when you have a home. Even if the values didn't go up, you're having to force savings because you're actually paying the property down. So if all things are equal and the property value didn't change, as long as you live there, you're still paying it down. So you have some distance in between how much you owe and how much the house is worth, which is basically called equity. And you can use that equity in many ways. So real estate really is the cornerstone of wealth. People should start off with, a primary residence and then go from there, because you're always going to need, shelter for your family anyway.
Absolutely.
Why not make it be something that's your own and can benefit you financially?
Yeah.
So that is one of the main key benefits that I see.
I want to thank you for providing that information, of course, Markita. And something I wanted to ask you, because a lot of clients of mine, they want to know, what is the ideal credit score to obtain a loan?
8,000.
Right off the top.
I'm just playing. I'm just joking. So credit scores can range anywhere from the low end from 400 to 850 is the spectrum of just what a credit score is. But the actual credit score we need is a 620. Okay. I think that's the baseline. That's a great question, though, because you have so much information out here and sometimes misinformation. You do have lenders that will do loans for people with credit scores at 500 to even 580, but those loans are going to have higher rates, higher scrutiny, and many times for whatever reason they end up falling out. So if you want to get a decent loan, I think a good starting point is a 620 to get in. And that, like I said, the highest range is 850. So, basically doesn't have to be great, just has to be good. And even people that have had challenges in the past, we're able to, help them walk through it and get to that 620 on their radar.
Yeah. So what would you say then would be, I guess the different, it just depends on the scenario, would determine the best loan for that purchaser.
Okay, so yeah, that's a good question, because everybody's scenario is different. I mean, we were just talking about veterans. I think if you are a veteran or have served in the military or are serving, that it is the #1 choice for a loan. Even when we do side-by-side comparisons for veterans that have a down payment, since it's a no down payment loan, when you look at that versus a conventional loan, still seems to be a better option. There's very rare cases that might not be purchasing a second home or an investment, but for the most most part, it really depends on, your credit score and your assets or money that you have down.
All right.
So if you have a smaller down payment, we're using FHA loans a lot, and we're also using that for first-time buyers. So, saving for a down payment around here is kind of tough. So we have some no down payment programs and grant programs that we can pair with FHA to help first-time buyers. So it really does depend. USDA is another product that doesn't have a down payment. You don't have to be a first-time buyer to use the program, but the property has to be located in what's deemed to be a rural area. So you have to have a qualification of the property as well as the person for that type of loan. And then we always have what are called our conventional loans, which basically means like A paper. For those loans, you still could get one that's 620. We're really looking at higher credit scores. So somebody with a higher credit score, some money to put down, may want to look at a conventional option. So it really just varies on your specific scenario, but I do feel like if you have the desire to buy a home, you have income, we can work with you to get it together as far as the credit and assets to help somebody purchase.
Awesome. Great stuff.
All right, guys. Well, that was today's Friday Facts. Be sure to tune in and share, like, comment, and we'll see you guys next Friday.
Thanks again for tuning in, guys.
All right, thanks for having me.
And thank you for stopping by.
Truly my pleasure.